Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into the art of writing a critique paper, a comprehensive guide to analyzing and evaluating written works. This type of paper is all about striking a balance. You're not just pointing out flaws, you're offering a thoughtful analysis that acknowledges both strengths and weaknesses. The goal here is to equip you with the skills to assess a work's effectiveness, validity, and quality. As we move through this presentation, keep in mind that a critique is not simply criticism. It's a balanced evaluation that can enhance your understanding and appreciation of the work. Let's get started on this journey to becoming more insightful and articulate in your analyses. Let's start by understanding the definition and purpose of a critique paper. A critique paper is an academic assignment where we critically analyze and evaluate various forms of creative work, such as texts, artworks, and research papers. The main purpose of a critique is to assess the effectiveness, validity, and quality of the work. It's essential to provide a balanced analysis, which means recognizing both the strengths and weaknesses of the piece. Remember, a critique is not just about finding faults. It's about engaging in a thoughtful analysis that can highlight positive aspects as well. This approach allows us to appreciate the nuances of the work and offer constructive feedback. It's an opportunity to deepen our understanding and encourage meaningful discussions. Let's delve into the key objectives of writing a critique paper. Remember, a critique is more than just pointing out flaws, it's about a thorough and balanced evaluation. First, we have summarization. This involves providing a concise overview of the main ideas, arguments, and conclusions of the original work. Think of it as setting the stage for your analysis by giving your audience the necessary context. Next, we're encouraged to formulate a personal opinion. This isn't just any opinion, it should be based on evidence or real-life examples. It's about developing and expressing your perspective, supported by concrete evidence from the text or reliable external sources. Finally, we focus on analyzing the argument presented by the author. Here, we scrutinize the logic, evidence, and reasoning used to support their claims and conclusions. Consider whether their arguments hold up under scrutiny. These objectives guide us toward writing a well-rounded critique. Let's explore the different types of critique papers you might encounter. Let's delve into the key objectives of writing a critique paper. Remember, a critique is more than just pointing out flaws, it's about a thorough and balanced evaluation. First, we have summarization. This involves providing a concise overview of the main ideas, arguments, and conclusions of the original work. Think of it as setting the stage for your analysis by giving your audience the necessary context. Next, we're encouraged to formulate a personal opinion. This isn't just any opinion, it should be based on evidence or real-life examples. It's about developing and expressing your perspective, supported by concrete evidence from the text or reliable external sources. Finally, we focus on analyzing the argument presented by the author. Here, we scrutinize the logic, evidence, and reasoning used to support their claims and conclusions. Consider whether their arguments hold up under scrutiny. These objectives guide us toward writing a well-rounded critique. Let's explore the different types of critique papers you might encounter. Let's delve into the example structure of a critique paper. This framework is your roadmap for organizing thoughts and building a compelling critique. We'll start with the introduction, where you'll present your thesis statement. Think of this as your critique's foundation. It's your main argument or perspective on the work. Next, provide a brief summary of the work. This is your chance to set the stage for your audience, offering them a snapshot of the content and context. Then, move into the analysis of key points and arguments. Here, you'll dissect the work, exploring the author's main ideas and how they're presented. Afterward, evaluate the evidence and reasoning. Assess how well the author supports their claims and whether the logic holds. This is crucial for your critique's credibility. Discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the work. Be balanced, acknowledge what works well and what could be improved. Finally, wrap up with a conclusion, offering your final assessment. This is where your thesis comes full circle, leaving your audience with a clear understanding of your viewpoint. Let's start by breaking down the essential steps in writing a critique paper. Firstly, it's crucial to truly understand the work you're critiquing. This means reading it multiple times. As you do this, take notes on key points, themes, and arguments. This will help you remember important details and form the basis of your critique. Next, gather some background information. Understanding the author's context, and any relevant theories, is like laying the groundwork for your analysis. It will help you see the work in a broader perspective, which is essential for a nuanced critique. Lastly, before you dive into writing, develop your thesis. This is your main argument or evaluation of the work. Think of it as the guiding star for your critique. It should encapsulate your overall viewpoint and be something you can support with evidence throughout your paper. Remember, these steps are about setting a solid foundation. The more thorough you are now, the more compelling your critique will be. Now, let's dive into the continuation of the steps for writing a critique paper. Step 4. Create an outline. Think of your outline as the roadmap for your critique. Clearly structure your thoughts, beginning with the introduction, moving through the summary and analysis, and concluding with your final thoughts. This helps to ensure a logical flow to your critique. Step 5. Write the first draft. Once your outline is set, start drafting your critique. Follow the structure you've laid out, making sure to cover all the key aspects of the work you're critiquing. Remember, this is a draft, so don't worry about perfection just yet. Focus on getting your ideas down. Step 6. Revise and edit. Finally, take time to review what you've written. Clarity and coherence are crucial here. Look for grammar and spelling errors and ensure your citations are correct. This step polishes your critique, preparing it for its final form. These steps will help you write a thorough and well-organized critique paper. Now, let's dive into the crucial first step of writing your critique, crafting the introduction. This is where you set the stage for your entire analysis. Start by clearly stating the title and author of the work you're critiquing. This immediately grounds your audience in the context of your critique. Next, provide a brief overview of the work's main points. This helps your readers understand the essential arguments and themes without having to read the entire work themselves. After the overview, introduce your thesis statement. This is your overall evaluation or main argument about the work. It's your opportunity to highlight the unique perspective or insight you'll be bringing to the critique. Finally, include a roadmap of your critique structure. Outline the main sections you'll cover, such as the summary, analysis, and evaluation, so your audience knows what to expect. Pause briefly to let this structure sink in. For example, consider this introduction. In her research paper, Effects of Social Media on Adolescent Mental Health, Dr. Jane Smith argues that prolonged social media use correlates with increased anxiety in teenagers. While Smith presents compelling statistical evidence, this critique will examine methodological limitations and alternative interpretations of the data that suggest a more complex relationship between these variables. Notice how this example effectively sets up the discussion by mentioning the title, author, and thesis, while also hinting at the critique's direction. Now, let's dive into the body of your critique. This is where we really get into the heart of your analysis. We'll break it down into 3 key sections: summary, analysis, and evaluation. First, the summary section. Here, you want to provide a concise overview of the work's main points and conclusions. It's essential to keep this part objective. Stick to the facts without inserting your own opinions. Imagine you're giving a quick but thorough news report on the work. Next, the analysis section. This is where your critical thinking shines. Examine the author's arguments and evidence. Ask yourself, are the claims valid? Are there any logical fallacies? Is the evidence robust and reliable? This section is your opportunity to dig deeper and assess the quality of the work critically. Finally, the evaluation section. Present your assessment of the work's strengths and weaknesses. Remember to support your opinions with evidence from the text and, if necessary, external sources. This is where you balance your critique with both positive and negative insights, making it well-rounded and fair. By structuring the body of your critique in this way, you ensure a comprehensive and balanced analysis that adds value to the academic conversation. As we wrap up our exploration of effective critique writing, let's focus on some final tips to enhance your critique. First, it's essential to maintain an academic tone. This keeps your work professional and credible. Remember, every claim you make should be backed by evidence. This not only strengthens your critique but also demonstrates your analytical skills. Aim for a balanced perspective, highlighting both positive and negative aspects. This balance shows depth of understanding and fairness in your analysis. Additionally, focus on the work itself, not the author. Critiques are about assessing the content, not making it personal. Also, always consider who the original work was intended for. It can provide valuable context for your analysis. Now, let's touch on some common pitfalls to avoid. Avoid overly emotional language, as it can undermine your objectivity. Ensure all your claims are supported. Unsupported assertions weaken your critique. Don't focus solely on the negatives. Balance is key. And remember, personal attacks on the author are never appropriate. Keep your critique focused on the content. Lastly, avoid mere summaries. Your critique should analyze and engage with the work, contributing to the broader academic conversation. By applying these tips, you'll craft critiques that are insightful, balanced, and valuable to the academic community.